Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is well. Let me go ahead and turn down the music just a tiny bit. It's really pleasant, and it might cut off after a little bit. It doesn't run forever, unfortunately. I kind of wish it did. It's a very relaxing tune, but c'est la vie. I figure it'll give me incentive to start up the game sooner than later. But anyway, I hope you guys are all well. Happy Saturday. It was Labor Day weekend for us here in the States. And yeah, I have the whole weekend off, so I haven't quite decided what I'm doing with myself. It's already halfway through. It is very, yes. It's halfway through the day already. I did feel motivated to go to the gym. I had checked into the gym and it had been over a year since I'd last been. I was like, okay, well, no better time to start than now. And so yeah, it was good. Felt good. Maybe I'll try to go again tomorrow and Monday if I can, and try to make it a thing at least. You know, I want to try to get back into my habit of at least going 3 times a week. Just one of those things where I was like, I'm getting older. My metabolism is just not what it used to be. I know I'm very thin. Hey, Chaos. those those guns. How you doing, Chaos? I peeked in on you earlier when you were playing Sheltered, but I was just eating and lurking before I went off to the gym, so I didn't really say hi. But looked pretty good. Looked like a chill stream you're having. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in this game. I got it a little while back from Maximum. I don't know if he'll stop by. He works quite a bit these days. Hopefully he does. And I've been curious about it. It's a little indie game on Steam, very much kind of a mystery sort of a thing. And you died in the end. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chaos. Oh, that's heartbreaking. I was curious about that. I thought it was a pretty neat game. It's called Sheltered. Kind of reminded me a little of what was that other one? The black and white one that was about surviving the apocalypse. But you're not a soldier. You go out and sneak out and steal food and stuff like that. 2 a.m. here, nothing new. But yeah, yeah, so I'm definitely interested in how this game will turn out. I've heard very good things. I've managed to avoid any spoilers, so I'm really excited about that and to see what I think of it. And I thought about playing Sherlock Holmes and continuing with that, but I wanted something a little more mellow, something less actiony. So yeah, we'll see. Yes, this War of Mine. Thank you, Paper K. All right. Well, now that the music's over, I guess we might as well start. I love this intro. It kind of reminds me a little of Limbo even, just how it's just very stark. All right. Let me kind of readjust my windows here. Hey, Coffee, how you going? Spoiler, this is your story. Aww. There you go. We will find out. I know, it's a lot of putting together the story yourself, as far as I've heard. So, how you doing, Coffee? It's a beautiful day out. Yeah, going to the gym was nice, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to keep up on it. So, all right, let's go ahead and start her up. I like that hum. You guys can let me know if you guys can hear it okay. That hum of the computer and the fluorescent lights, which are pretty cool there. It's a beautiful day. You might go jogging tonight since another streamer made you feel bad about eating too much. Oh, they shouldn't be shaming you. Yeah, I somehow felt motivated to go to the gym. I'd been wanting to go back to the gym for the last few weeks. And I just want to get back into the habit of it. I used to go three times a week just to try to keep my health up. I eat pretty terribly, and I was like, at least I should do something. I bike or walk to work every day, but Still could do a lot more considering that I have a day job, a desk job rather, and I'm probably not as active as I should be. So it's just one of those things, and I could definitely tell that parts of me are getting a little bigger. Just metabolism doesn't take care of it as well as it used to. So I should really start thinking about that stuff more often. All right. So I can hear a little bit of the music. If you guys can't hear it, I'll go ahead and turn it up a little. Just let me know. You went back to Windows 95. I wish. I'd be able to play a lot more of my old games if I could. Alright. So I guess I'll just hit search. Murder. Alright, let's go ahead and user tags blank, add to session. Huh. Well, there's a readme here. Introduction to Logic Base. Get that floppy disk ready. Let's see. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The Logic database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. Aw, thanks for the retweets, folks, and the favorites. Especially big shout outs to the half-naked robotic girl bots who often will automatically retweet my tweets no matter what the content is. Thank you. Thank you for the love. It's good to work out desk jobs make it hard for you to lose weight. It does, it does. I'm not necessarily interested in losing weight per se, but just trying to get a little more fit, I guess. Just be healthier. Mostly being healthy, and and the one thing I do like about exercising is that it does make me think a lot more about eating habits, and after working out I tend to crave healthier foods like salads, fruits, veggies, things like that versus like heavier things. Like usually after working out I'm like, oh, I don't want any heavy things, I want kind of like the lighter, healthier stuff. So so I figure the more I exercise, hopefully the healthier I eat. Oh, he wasn't rude. He was like, that's a lot of calories. So I told him I ate all you can eat Mongolian barbecue stir fry and got blended coffee afterwards. I almost got blended coffee after my gym workout. I was really tempted, but I was like, no, just go home, have some water. Alright. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be the most valuable item in your crime fighting toolkit. This database contains footage transferred from the existing homicide and serious crime tape archive at Portsmouth. Yeah, you don't want to gain the weight you lost. Exactly. It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology. Don't really say what ASR means. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately, so they can be tagged for submission to court. The audio has been digitally stenographed and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. To retrieve a clip, type in a word, e.g. robbery, into the search field. Click search and the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. To narrow a search, use multiple words, robbery supermarket. If you're working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted commas to search for an exact match against the entire statement. Yes, comma, I was there. Use inverted commas to search for an exact match. Narrow search is multiple words. Interesting. To store a clip for later reference, click Add to Session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags of your own to help future searches, please click in the user tags box and type in the desired tags. For any future assistance, please contact your department's information technology representative. Alright, what's this one say? Hey, here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999, and then the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. No one has touched them since. I couldn't find the server with the detective's footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97, but figured this would be enough. Take your time, SB. We gonna try out solitaire tonight? Maybe. We'll see what's in the rubbish bin. Hack info. Hack. You've never seen us. One for the mums here. Classic two-player strategy for lunchtime gaming. That face. Cracks with class. Interesting. Is this Grace Hack? Yeah, Grace Hack. Interesting. Mirror game. Player one's turn. Ah, oh. Alright. Let's go and close that. Let's see if there's anything else down here. Database checker. Clock. That's cute. Running an OS, running on an OS, exactly. Database checker, volume missing. Huh, interesting. Okay. Alright, let's see where this takes us. There's a log off button, okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play this, see what happens.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay. Let's see. Oh. Well, thanks, folks, for the retweets and favorites. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder? I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
That was March 7th, 94. It was January 94. It was June 27th, 94. Hey, Nix. How's it going? I wonder if this was after.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Interesting. Oh, this is June, not March. This is July, rather. July 3rd. This is June. Okay. So maybe this was kind of done after the initial one.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Okay. This one was... That's July. Okay. What order is this in? June, July, later in July. Okay, so maybe these are filtered by date already. Subtitles, anti-glare filter. Nice. Query history. This one's June or July 3rd, later on in that session.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
Interesting. How you doing, guys? All right. So I guess let's look up we'll look up Simon. See what we find. 61. Access limited to first 5 entries. Okay.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
What's the story behind this game? Yeah, I did just start. What is a lot of what the game is you're basically playing the part of possibly a detective or someone who's going through these databases. And it sounds like there was a murder and that this woman may be a suspect. And we're going through the videos to see if we can piece together the story. Type in our Twitch names. I don't think that'll work. I mean, I could try. Let's see. Let's try and type in chaos. Nothing for chaos. How about coffee? Oh, we got 5 for coffee. Badoodles. Hey, Arcady, how's it going? Let's see what we get for coffee.
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. I'm sweet enough as it is.
Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Sweet enough as it is. June.
Yes. I got to Glasgow. I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back. About 8 years back. It was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
Seems to have a tattoo there. I'll add that.
No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
I can enter more than 1 term. It's true. I can. Narcissism is real with the first one. I know, right? Tattoo, also pregnant. Yeah. Very interesting. Alright. Let's see. Let's see what we got for this one.
Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
Milk and sugar. Alright. Let's see. This one, she kind of mentioned the baby. What? That was in July. Interesting. Coffee, coffee, coffee. It's not as strong as myth, but it lets you keep your teeth. Let's see if there's anything for tattoo.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Interesting.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Reminds you of Phoenix Wright games. Yeah, it does for me too, as well. Expressing my individuality. I just got a achievement for that. Apple and a snake. Yeah, objection.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
Interesting.
He saw me singing one of my shows, pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was, but he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, well, that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Interesting. Your mom tried getting tickets to PAX Prime this year, but they're all sold out the day she looked. The first day it went on sale. At least she tried. Oh, I'm sorry, Arcady. Yeah, they sell out very fast, probably within an hour or so. So you really have to get on it as soon as they announce it. If you had tickets last year, you would have seen me in the Rumpus Room. Yeah, exactly. We had a super tight schedule. We're also staying with other friends who weren't at the convention, who had a car, so we didn't want to stay out too late, and we had to be careful of how long we were parked. Various things like that. But maybe soon, RKD. Hopefully Seth and I will at least try to get up to PAX Prime sometime soon, and if we get Ark and Snarfy up there with us, that'd be awesome. So I get the impression that her name is probably Eve. Let me see about the session thing. Let's see. To store a clip for later reference, click add to session. Clip stored in this user session. Wonder if I don't want it in my session anymore. Can I remove it? Doesn't look like it. Alright, Arcadia. Let's see. Eve. 7 entries found. Access limited to first 5.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
The UI also reminds you of the UI password input scenes in old Resident Evil games.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up afterwards. It was a love-hate relationship.
Interesting.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him.
Paper.
A taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station, but I blamed everything on my friend Eve, so my parents let me off.
I know. She's like, I don't even know who she is, but she seems like a bad apple.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Interesting. Very interesting. That almost felt like Morse code or something. Makes me wonder. That tapping. I don't know Morse code. Yeah, it picks up pretty fast. It's pretty interesting. I didn't know how slow it would take to go. I had heard that it was mostly video clips. I first heard about this game probably through Twitter, um, where someone mentioned that they really enjoy shorter games. They really enjoy narrative-driven games. And yeah, I'd seen a few people play this. Not actually play them, but I'd seen like Dan's Gaming played it, Jack LaFear played it, and a few others, and I'd gotten a lot of acclaim for just a really interesting story. So, Timorin, how's it going? But I think probably the first I had heard of it was probably through um, following the tweets of someone who works for maybe Kotaku or GameSpot. Trying to remember if it wasn't one of those guys, or even Destructoid, but they had mentioned it as like a really interesting new indie game, and that I think it's one woman who might be playing all these characters, which is interesting too, and just the range of emotions they come across, and rewatching the same clips really um, shows different things once you start piecing together the puzzle. So I was just really intrigued. But how you doing, Timorin? That sneaky bear. Let's see, code maybe. Let's see. That was interesting. Let's see what she says here.
My mother called me Eve.
My mother calls me Eve. We could try Hannah. 18 entries.
My name is Hannah. Hannah. It's Pandre. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though, it's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith, I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Interesting. So I wonder if maybe it's the same person? And maybe she has multiple personalities? Let's see. It's hard to tell. She said, why were we talking about Eve? Interesting.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Interesting. Well, that was creepy. That was really creepy. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I think it was supposed to be a reflection of the person who's doing the work. Who might be searching through these videos. That was really creepy. Twin sisters, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I'll try polygraph after this next one. That really kind of freaked me out, honestly.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Ugh. That's so creepy. You have a theory, but you'll remain silent. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's definitely blind for me, and it totally looks like, I mean, from the reflection, it looks like it's Hannah, which is interesting. But she's not Hannah, is she? That's... Alright, let's try polygraph. I'm still trying to piece together who's Hannah and who's Eve. So, nothing for polygraph. Watch out for the spoopy ghost behind. I know, Tamorin. I don't need more spoopy ghosts. Let's see, midwife.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror.
Huh.
She was me.
That's interesting. Oh god, that's creepy. It's like police sirens like lit up her face. So it almost sounds like the midwife. I know. Surprise jump scare. I wonder what the machine she was hooked up to was then. Yeah. It looked like maybe the midwife might have stolen her from her mom and told her that she had died, and then raised her across the street from her house, which is creepy. Weird. Okay, let's try Florence.
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Yeah, that's so creepy. Why do they keep doing that? This is the one I'd already watched, I think, yeah.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand. I guess I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know. No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
It'd be creepy if the game somehow had your reflection set. I know, it's already super creepy that it shows any reflection. Interesting. Try typing in twin. Oh, that's how you delete the session data.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Creepy image.
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
I wonder if she's having twins, now that I think about it. I think a good chunk of the game is figuring out how to pull up unwatched videos the more you watch them. Exactly, yeah, I think it really is. I don't know if it tells you how many yeah, I think this gives you an idea of how many you've watched. I don't know what this yellow one is. Huh, curious about these. What that yellow one was. Maybe it was one I missed and I didn't watch. One volume missing. But yeah, I think it's a lot of like trying to figure out if you can watch all the videos and piece together the full puzzle. I wonder if that last one, if it highlights the last one you just watched.
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby.
Alright, I wonder if it changed. I think it might be telling me which one I just watched. Yes, I think it might be telling me which one I just watched, so I have an idea of where in the timeline it might be. That's pretty interesting, because this one was probably the one right before it. It probably goes together. Yeah. Interesting, okay.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Interesting. It's interesting that I'm uncovering a lot of stuff from down here versus up in the top. Because I wonder if a lot of it just start discussing the murder before they start talking about themselves. Let's see. Mother. Let's see what we get.
Okay. There's a girl and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out.
Okay. Yeah, I could type in murder again. That was the first one they came up with when I first started. No, it's okay, Coffee. It's fine.
You think it's murder? Clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
That one was kind of in the middle there. This one was later on. Interesting. I see. Interesting. Let me go back to Mother. I was kind of curious. What else?
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. But she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Interesting. I got another achievement for that one. Interesting.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Interesting. It's no problem, Coffee. I'm actually going to make a note for myself of some words I want to look up. Sarah and Ava. But yeah, pretty interesting story so far.
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story? It's a real life fairy tale.
That one must have been played right before the others. Palindromes, yeah. Yeah, I could look up palindromes actually, that's not a bad one. Let's do that. Palindrome. Looks like I've already read that one. Alright. That looks like I've already watched them. Want to look up Sarah. Just one. Let's try Ava. Same, just one. Portsmouth. I thought uh-oh, I wrote wrong. Port Smith. try palindrome without the S? I thought I did. Yeah, I have it singular there. I can try it with both palindromes. Yeah, it's the same. Well, I didn't get anything at Portsmouth either. Let's see, Hannah Smith. Try typing it in. Okay, she's got both of those. Wonder why this one is kind of a strange one.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Maybe we'll try Simon Smith. Yeah, we already watched this one.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Oh yeah, I want to look up baby too at some point. Let's try Ernst. Nope. Okay, I'll try baby. There's a whole bunch of them.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
Looked like she had a black eye there, didn't it? Did she have a black eye?
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snapped a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
That's interesting. Let's try baby again, since we didn't finish that one.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
I've definitely heard that coffee. I mean, I feel like, I mean, that's what I always read, and it would tend to happen with friends of mine, but also other friends would be completely different. You know, I mean, I would feel like it would also take some time for things to get synced up because, you know, like it wouldn't be thrown off by a whole week, you know, but maybe by like a few days and getting closer and closer. So I'd feel like it would take quite a long time, but I don't know. That's a good question.
No, I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after. It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff. sad stuff about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Interesting.
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Interesting. A lot for Eric. Wonder who Eric is.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, black pants there. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Eric is his boss. Okay.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. He said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. The store was back this morning. Just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either. Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diane. Wonder if I can leave this up, if that's possible. That'd be kind of nice if I could.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days, no one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage, the worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications. Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Derek had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then...
Interesting. Wonder how they felt about each other. Had this idea that they needed to be matched somehow. Interesting. Let's try.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body. It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff.
Yeah. She said she found the body down there.
His body. It didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. There's these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear. Really? Here's the rest.
They laid a body on the dock to dry. Oh, the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh,
may be used as evidence against you.
Interesting. It's like her with a guitar. Alright, coffee. Yeah, I wrote down sex. So let's see, which one am I on right now? I'm on body.
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. As it was so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? Felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
Interesting. Interesting. Alright, let's see. So, let's, I just did body. We'll go ahead and try sex.
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private? Are you married? How is your sex life? So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage. No, you're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. If you think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
Interesting.
No, I was 15, Carl was older, 17 I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It was stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Interesting. Alright. Let's try photograph. Maybe photo?
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Oh, at the beginning.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV. Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
Interesting. So, I mean, the only thing why I don't think it's probably not multiple personalities. It sounds like twins, since one has a tattoo and the other doesn't. It's just hard to know when sometimes they have a sleeve on. So it's kind of hard to exactly recall who is who. Let's see.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they have in sometimes. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
The lady with the hair down is more loose, and the one with the hair up is more uptight. It seems like it. It seems like it, yeah. Just remember our hair up lady and hair down lady. That's what I think too. Let's see.
Oh God, I don't know. I guess the Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone Simon knew from the Rock.
Rockington. It's just that one, okay. Let's try Diane. They talk quite a bit about Princess Diane.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the Glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Oh, right. Diane was Eric's wife, not Princess Diana.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, it must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Interesting.
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX. And I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
She's. I love that I got an achievement for that one. It's called "Have you ever eaten fennel?" Now I gotta look up fennel.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. They get on so well. unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Let's see. Let's try Diana. Okay. Nothing there. Glaziers.
Mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. It's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
The colors on dresses are very striking. Why would they make the colors of the dresses stick out so much? I mean, the only thing I can think of is they want to establish the different days. But yeah, they're extremely striking. Just like patterns or solid colors. I mean, that bright orange, and this bright blue. But yeah, the only thing I can think of is to make sure you know that there are different days, I guess. But it's the only thing I can think of.
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaziers. No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he doesn't have much money. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't even know what a glazier is. I've gotta look that up now. What is a glazier? Define glazier. A person whose profession is fitting glass into windows and doors. Okay. I had no idea. Now I know. Alright. Let's try guitar.
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf. Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar. You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street.
There were two sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. But he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain. With a pretty little face and a long blonde hair.
Alright, coffee.
Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain. Watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
think I remember what the rest of it goes on to. Go ahead and find it here.
Really? Here's the rest.
Made a body of a doctor, oh, the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone, oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce her heart of stone, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
Interesting. Alright. Let's see what else we got here.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married. I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married. Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
Interesting.
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant. When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Interesting. Rome. Nope, just that one. I already looked up Diana. Glasgow.
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. Just had to sleep. I got in the car and I drove. I just kept. yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back. Yeah, that's Simon's watch. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning. When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving.
That's where she mentioned she was pregnant. Let's try driving. Okay, guess we already went through those. Fennel. Just that one. Watch.
He was wearing a shirt. It's a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one.
Hey, Ghosty.
Gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Cool. How you doing, Ghosty? We're just playing her story here. I'm about, how many hours in am I? I've been live for about an hour and a half now. We're just trying to piece together the story. I don't know if you've ever played it. It's pretty interesting. I'm trying to figure out what actually happened in this. What these videos reveal.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. It was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
You heard about it, it's on your wish list? Good. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you then. If anything happens. It's really good though. It's good. I definitely would recommend it. Let's see.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary.
Alright, sounds good, Ghosty.
Still. It would have been Diane who chose.
I remember already going through that one. Let's try this one.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other.
True.
We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Definitely shows something. Gives a little insight into what the end might be.
name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work in Lyric though, it's not quite symmetrical, but well, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith, I live at 31 Gladstone Street. Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things. It wasn't the present so much, it was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Interesting.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since. Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Very odd. Very odd. Interesting though. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the game. It's a very mellow game. It's exactly what I want right now. I just wanted something mellow. I didn't want to be doing a lot of stuff action-wise. I didn't want to be controlling characters and jumping around. Otherwise, I would be playing Sherlock Holmes, which I was playing last week. But I still wanted like an interesting story. I wanted to figure out a mystery. And her story seemed like the perfect fit of just watching something almost unfold like a movie. So it's interesting to kind of start putting together the puzzle myself. So it's pretty neat. Let's see, what else can I search for? Yeah, it's interesting. I tried not to look at very much before I started playing. I heard it was mostly compiled of these videos. And that you're basically playing a character who's going through this database to find all the videos and try to piece together the story. It's a little interesting. You get a little hint of who you are in the game through a reflection that occasionally will pop up. It's very odd and a little unnerving every time it happens. But yeah, it's good. I really like it. And the woman who plays the actress is very good.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in, Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom, and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Doug and Eleanor.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on a peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre. So weird to see them basically say the exact same things. um, that was very weird. When did this one take place?
Okay.
This one took place earlier. Okay. That was odd. That was so odd. Let's see what I've got. Attic.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, the dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there. Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories. Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Interesting.
She recognised me from the window. She told me to come inside and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place. I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Interesting. Hmm.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. That's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me.
Interesting. If I look up silver, let's see what else we can find. That was glasses. Let's see what I get for Doug.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure. I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there she was hoovering every day, you know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage. And she still has a secret like that.
Hmm.
1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. The forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It was just awful.
Try Eleanor.
Yes. at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just
Spilled coffee.
yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just
I know that fail. That's pretty funny. Alright, let me look up Dollhouse. Anything new?
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon a week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper, curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Interesting. Looks like I got a Steam card from the game. Excellent. Let's see. Alright, look up silver. Nothing from that. Let's see. Detective's footage on it. Interesting. It's a rubbish bin. Mirror game. Grace hack. Let's see. What else to look up? I already looked up Hannah. Murder. Tattoo. Maybe I'll look up parents. Let's see.
No cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. We never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it. When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Oh, interesting. Let's try. Nope, I already read that one. Let's see.
Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. He's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill and he might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure how it ends. When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
Weird.
What kind of hairs? Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Interesting. Rapunzel. Huh. A lot of stuff for that.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour? Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
Oops. I didn't want to add that to my session.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flick between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger. He has a wallet, a huge silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before, when he comes in, if he's in the house.
let's see, I did already do. Um, watch. I already did glasses. Okay. Hmm.
Yes, this is it. He made it himself. It's a special one-off. He made it. He decorated it. That's his thing. Where did you find it? This is a nicer room. Is this where you take people when it's time to arrest them? Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that. Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you. Yes. No lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for? Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist?
Interesting. Very interesting.
What are you doing talking about me?
Because we looked at Simon, I think. Oh, we still got some more chit chat. What is this? How's it going down there? Are you done? Not yet. No. Not. Yes. I only can type in yes or no. Okay, I'll hang a bit longer. Buzz when you're ready. Interesting. Oops. That's so weird to see that. Let's move that over here.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing. Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next? They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone, and no one had any reason to hurt them. I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way you would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Hey Gert, how you doing?
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen, you can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
Interesting.
When will the police let me back in the house? And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but
Oops. Nope. Let's try. Try mushrooms. Multiple mushrooms. Good, busy at work. How are you? Pretty mellow, pretty mellow. Just trying out this game for the first time today. Doing pretty well. We've unlocked Seems like we've unlocked a good half of the videos, but I'd like to find out more if I can. Definitely curious. There's still a lot of questions I have about the story, so. Um, yeah. Let's see. Did I already look up? Sister.
When she went home, Sam had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. She
Just turned in, little weird game. It's like story type game, right? Yeah. It's it's all videos that I'm watching, and I'm trying to excuse me, trying to uncover each of the videos by searching for search terms. And trying to piece them together. So it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it so far.
She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone. She never calls me that.
Guess what days I'm coming over to US? Oh yeah? What brings you over here, Gert?
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
Interesting. Interesting. Actually, let me try sisters first. Okay, argument. A wedding, a friend who works in the US is getting married. Oh, that's awesome. Do you know what part of the US are you coming to? Is this your first time coming to the States?
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else was said. He likes Helen. He likes friends.
Interesting.
There's no couple stuff. Stupid argument. Nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to.
Nah, second time you've been to the West Coast. Nice.
No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way. Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Interesting. I think now it's in Georgia. Oh, Georgia. Interesting. That sounds fun. It's supposed to be hot. That's cool. I'm glad you're coming back to the US to visit. That's awesome. Let's see. Let's look up Helen. Nothing. Nothing much there.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that some nice people, and the barman they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Haven't spoken to him in like 3 years. I messaged you today. He messaged you to have you go to their marriage, their wedding. That's so funny. That's cool. That's awesome. Let's try Susan. Nope, nothing there. Other things to look for. Sorry, just wanted to share. No, it's fine, Gert. That's great to be excited about that. I don't blame you for being excited to travel. Yeah, I'd like to travel some more, but it'll just be a matter of us having to save money to do that again. But it's always fun. Let's see. Hmm.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back. We were obsessed with fairy tales.
It's that one. What about this one?
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, well, that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Well, these guys were from my soccer football team, and I kind of was a person who didn't get in contact, if you know what I mean, and they still want me there. I feel bad in a weird way. Oh, you shouldn't feel bad. I mean, I'm really bad about keeping in contact with people, so it's okay. It's okay. It happens.
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing the bar again and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
Interesting. They were my best friends for like 10 years and moved away in my work and all. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's fair. Well, it's very sweet of them to contact you and include you, to think of you. That's awesome.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
Interesting. Very interesting. They tried like a lot of times, so I ignored them, and still they did. Oh, that's very sweet.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing. In Oxford? It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford. Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar. Mum and Dad never knew what was going on and got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There are lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
Interesting. Still need to meet up with the rest, but if not, it's gonna be awkward before that. Don't know how to do that. You'll be fine. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people at the wedding that you won't know, I'm sure. But yeah, it'd be nice if you can get over there before the wedding to kind of meet everyone beforehand, be there for the rehearsals perhaps, and then it'll be a little easier. But yeah, it'll be that's a tough one. Let's see. Secret. Let's see what we've got. Yeah. Just checking on Reaper.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor. Dad thought we had mice, but we couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Huh. 'Cause that was a code here. Yeah. Add to session.
we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code.
Huh. Because it seemed like Morse code, but I don't know anything about Morse code. Hmm. Interesting. They're definitely typing things out there. Let's see. Wonder if I should look up knock code. Let's see if anything comes up. Tap code, sometimes called the knock code. Encode text messages on letter-by-letter basis in a very simple way. Messages transmitted using a series of taps, hence the name. Usually tapping either metal bars, pipes, or walls inside a cell. Let's see. Each letter is designated by tapping two numbers, the first designating the row, the second designating the column. For example, to specify the letter B, one taps once, pauses, and then taps twice. Or to communicate the word water, the cipher would be the following. The pause between each number in a pair is smaller than the pause between letters. Interesting, okay. I gotcha. Let's see if we can figure out this code then.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Let's see, I need to write this down. Hold on, guys. Let's get a pencil and paper. They're gonna make me do some actual testing here. Figure out these clues. Which is good. It's a puzzle after all.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
see. The letter X is used to break up sentences and K for acknowledgements. Okay. Almost seems like that one's a R5U. Let's see if I can figure it out from her other one.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
I can't count enough for this. I might just have to look it up. Let's see. Tap code. Her story. Alright, Gert. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Apparently the first one is Love You, and the other one is By Hannah. Interesting. Interesting. All right.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him. I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him?
Hey, Artorias. How you doing? I was thinking about you earlier. I was like, I hope Artorias is well. I haven't heard from Artorias in a while. Probably just busy playing games or doing his own thing. We're just playing Her Story here. I don't know if you've seen it before. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Let's see. Oops. Upstairs. Hey. Timorin's still here. Blonde. There we go.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap? No, they were shut. Most of the windows are really hard to open anyway. It's stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
I got an achievement. At some point I got an achievement.
We loved our cat, Domino.
Domino.
He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway. Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
Interesting. You're good. You had a family taco day at your property. Nice to see everyone in Chow Down. Beat a few of the newest DLC things for Monster Hunter. Very nice, Arturus. Yeah, I need to download those myself. Make sure I get in on that. Still trying to figure out if I'm missing anything else in this database. Let's see. What? 6. Oh, 16/6. Well, I wonder if that's June 16th, 2015? Probably. I think that's when this came out, so maybe that was it. Welcome back, Gert. Wig. Ah.
A wig? You mean... what type of wig?
Hmm.
No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
She keeps asking what kind of wig. Interesting.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap? No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It was like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant, but I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? And that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Interesting. Gonna play some Destiny. Alright. Sounds good, Artorias.
This was 9, about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Interesting. Ah.
No, I'm okay. Fuck.
Are you arresting me? No. Fuck off. Open this door.
Let's see. Moved. Person.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
Still no vid though. Ah, that sucks.
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Hey Warren, how's it going?
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper. Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
Interesting. Alright, Artorias. Interesting.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
Interesting. It's good. It's really good. It's interesting to piece together what may have happened, and the story. It's so much more than the possible murder that may have happened. There's a lot going on, so it's really good. It's really good. I would definitely say play it, but it's definitely for the sort of person who's interested and in the mood to just watch and witness rather than actually interact necessarily. It kind of reminds me of some of the other game called was it Analog a Hate Story, I think it was, and then there's Hate Plus as well. I've only played some of Analog, and it kind of does a similar thing where you're going through journals and you're searching through this database to find more journal entries, and that's kind of how this is, where you go with one search term and you get a couple of entries, and you go from there and keep finding more search terms to kind of flesh out the story. So it's really good. The actress is really good. So, but I don't know if you want me to spoil it for you. So I don't know if you guys want me to spoil what I've come across so far. But I'm just enjoying the performance and how things are kind of unfolding. It's very relaxing and very it's a neat mystery story.
I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one girl. The fairy tale was over, The witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
One of those sirens was in the game. One of those sirens was outside of my house. Interesting. Let's see.
It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things, and we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Welcome back, Coffee. This isn't a game I could play. I figured that's what might be the situation. Yeah, I've cleared up quite a few, Coffee. It's really interesting how things are kind of unfolding. It's funny because I'm not finding out a lot about the original husbands, or Simon, or if that's multiple people, I don't know. But I'm finding a lot about the sisters. So Artorias, if folks in the chat don't want to hear what has been happening so far, this might be a good time to step away. But I'll go ahead and recap what I've uncovered so far. So what I've pieced together is that as far as you know, the sisters repeat what the others does. Also, and it sounds like, well, I'll start from the beginning where it sounds like Simon, who is married to a woman named Hannah, was killed, and they're trying to figure out who did it. And as you go along, you realize that the videos are not the same person, that there are actually two girls, and that they are identical twins. One is Hannah, one is Eve. They were separated at birth, but lived across the street from each other. The woman who stole the first daughter was the other family's, her sister's family's midwife, and had told them that one of the twins had died, and secretly stole that daughter to raise as her own. So the two twins lived across from each other. They finally realized that the other was a reflection of the other. I don't know if they realized that they were twins, but they started swapping places with each other when they figured out they could do that. And this especially happened after the midwife died. The midwife died, and so Eve, who was the one who had been mistaken for dead, went over to Hannah's house and lived up in the attic. And they were swapping places when one didn't want to go to school and to survive and things like that. And they kept doing it until they got older. And Hannah had met Simon when she was 17, got pregnant, got married, and had to move away. And so that left Eve in a lurch because her original parents didn't know she was even alive. And so they planned that when Hannah and Simon could get away and to own their own house, that they could then bring Eve back into the fold and live with Hannah so that they wouldn't be separated again. In the meantime, during that time, Eve was also trying to get pregnant. She didn't like that Hannah had gotten pregnant and she wasn't pregnant, and they wanted to mimic each other. Like if one got hurt, the other would also have to get hurt. It was a lot of eye for eye. If one lost a tooth, the other would have to lose a tooth. And they did that on purpose so that they could pass for each other. But the fact that one was pregnant now and the other wasn't, that means they couldn't pass for each other anymore, and was keeping them separated. So, yeah, and then something had happened at the very end that I think Simon might have gotten Eve pregnant, and Hannah figured it out. Um, and there was a huge argument, and maybe that might have left to Simon's death. We're not sure. We're still trying to figure it out. It's so crazy. Yeah, Simon gets 2 times fun, but also 2 times the trouble. Yeah, I think what had happened was Simon met Eve before Hannah introduced them, and he was just like, oh, it's so weird. They look just like my wife, and they started having an affair. And and Hannah couldn't have kids anymore because after she had gotten pregnant that first time, she miscarried and was infertile. Um, and they really wanted kids, but they couldn't have them. And then Simon met Eve and got her pregnant. And Hannah pieced it together that she had gotten pregnant by her husband. And yeah. So I'm trying to figure out now what exactly happened. If one of the sisters killed Simon, if both of the sisters killed Simon, um, what what exactly happened there. So it's pretty interesting, yeah. Pretty interesting. Alright, so we got diary, husband.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting, waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband.
So that's early on in the timeline, and this is at the end of the recordings.
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
Sounds intriguing. Keep playing. I love this stream because you do this stuff. Alright, Artaris. Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's not a very expensive game, I think, because it's a shorter game, but, you know, it's really well done, and it's really interesting to see the story kind of unfold like this.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad
Coffee.
because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Weird. They give her these cards to kind of tell a story, and they kind of mimic what might have happened, and just feelings that she has.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
Interesting. Stairs. Drive? Okay.
It's like I told you before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Interesting. So, I was thinking that they both did it together. But it's kind of hard to tell. What I do think is that Eve got arrested. She's the one in the light-colored shirt in the interrogation room that almost looks like she's already jailed. And I have a feeling that it's probably Hannah who is viewing these reports and reminiscing and seeing, having a way to look at her sister without being tracked. That's what I think, but we'll see. That's what I'm starting to piece together, because you get a little glimpse of her reflection when like lights flicker or a police car drives by, and it gives the impression that it might be Hannah, because her hair is pulled back and she kind of has a similar face. Yeah, so I have a feeling that they jailed Eve, Hannah fled and disappeared, and that but that they did it together somehow. hmm Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I should search for, because I'm supposed to be searching for terms here. Definitely still missing quite a few. Sounds like a Lifetime movie. This game is much better than Five Nights at Freddy's. I know, right? I mean, the original concept of Five Nights at Freddy's isn't bad. I think it's kind of a cool kids horror story, but yeah, this is interesting developments. There's still big chunks of that I'm missing here, so I'm really interested in. Let's see, story.
Yes, like a story. A beginning, a middle, and an end.
Okay. Thing for blood. Ah, found some stuff for blood. I bet the sequel for her story will be on a really old Mac.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
Interesting.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. Blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I'd been burgled. Only worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So, like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead. She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
So it sounds like it may have been Hannah who had killed Simon.
On his throat. How?
I wonder what will happen if you type in doppelganger. I could try that. I could try that after this one.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Well, I think we just figured out what had actually happened. What's a database checker? So this is basically showing me all the videos on this case and showing me which ones I viewed. I'm also refreshing to show which one was the last one I just viewed which was the yellow one. So I'm starting to piece together the last 2 videos in there. But that's deep. Now I know what happened to him. Huh. So let's try doppelganger. Nope, nothing there. I think... Yeah, I don't think it's spelled the other way. No, it's not. Let's try seller. Okay, I think we already did this one.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
I wonder what they meant about the baby. Cause like, makes me wonder who has the baby then. If Hannah has the baby or if Eve has the baby. Yeah, I could try scare. Nope, nothing came up from that one. Yeah, I wonder, let's see. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in '99. They got mothballed. No one has touched them since. So it's probably been a good 10 or probably about 15 years since the footage was taken. Or maybe 20 actually, since apparently according to this clock, it's supposed to be June 16th. And these were taken in 94, so about 20 years. I guess she wanted to see footage of what the story was, what they got. Hmm. Hmm. I already checked watch, and I already watched those. I'm trying to think of what else I could watch to Sorry, I did Cellar, right? Yeah. Hmm. The music also adds a nostalgia tone. Like one of the sisters is trying to look back on what happened, probably the innocent one. Yeah. Yeah, because if Hannah is the one who accidentally cut her husband's throat and Eve took the fall while she escaped, it sounds like that's what has happened, and she's watching the old footage of her sister. Because it seems like she doesn't seem to. The reflections don't show up when she watches her own videos, but they do show up a little when she watches her sister's videos, it seems. Let's see. What else could I search for? School.
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything, I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
It explains why she has the bruise on her face, because that was probably right after her husband hit her, and she attacked him.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. But a girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. Mum was amazed.
Yeah, I know, it would make for a great film. It's really interesting. I mean, I'm hoping that once I unlock all the videos, maybe it'll let me watch the whole thing as a whole thing, like a whole video. Like, I'd really like that. So I really would like to have everything work out. Although this does say one volume missing, which makes me wonder. But I'm definitely curious. Did you type in suspect? I don't know if I have. Let's try that one. I got some more videos. Thank you. Let's give that a shot.
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect? That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in two places at once. This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions about me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
Um, um,
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
yeah, I'll try that now. And now I'll go back to home. Looks like I might already have done that.
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't. I mean, I don't know. Something must have happened to him on his way home. He could be hurt. I mean, why hasn't he phoned? I don't know.
What I am curious about is that their parents, their biological parents, ended up dying by food poisoning. Apparently by death caps, which was very suspect because the sisters were taught by the dad of how to identify mushrooms. He was a mushroom expert and had told them how to identify death caps. And so it really made me wonder if the sisters had something to do with the parents' death. Maybe as a way for Eve, who was hiding in the attic, to escape by poisoning them. Same thing with Eve's original, Eve's midwife mother who had stolen her away. She had found the midwife's diary confessing that she had stolen the daughter. And then she fell down a flight of stairs. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I've tried accident. I'll do that next after this one. Let's try accident afterwards.
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday, then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. It turned into a big argument. Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So I left.
That was her alibi, that she had driven away when he had disappeared. Let's go ahead and try accident. Accident. Looks like we didn't come up with anything there. I can show you guys what it is.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
It's that one and this one.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
That's what makes me think that maybe she had something to do with the parent's death. Mirror? I think I already tried Mirror, but let's try that again. Yes, I've already done Mirror. They didn't really go into it too much. They did talk about how Simon had given her a mirror. But yeah, as we heard in the other one, he had given the same mirror, identical mirrors, to each girl, which is terrible. And she got furious. Let's see. Trying to think. What other things should I look for? Car. A few for car.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
It's okay, Artorias. You went to school for forensic science, never did anything with it. Oh man, really? I had no idea. I did actually already look for throat. That was how we found the one video about what actually transpired between the two girls and Simon. So we figured out the ending of it. I know, that would have been cool for a Law & Order or CSI forensic person, totally. But yeah, it was pretty good. Let's see. I wasn't really even paying attention for that video. Let me watch that again.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I was wondering if you were trying to scare Artorias.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I hope I was successful.
But it's very sneaky. We're playing Her Story. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It is kind of like a little murder mystery sort of story, but all you do is watch the videos, but you have to find the videos. And the videos you find by typing in search terms and going from the videos that they allow you to see to doing more search terms on other things that might bring up more videos. So
Interesting.
yeah, so it's a little clue sniffing.
It's like you got some Windows 95 going on.
We do a little bit. Haha, unsuccessful. Hey Globe, how's it going?
I brought you something.
You brought me something.
I brought you something. I didn't pay for it.
What'd you bring me? Oh, Staltic.
It's a Reaper. Hi.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, everybody. I brought you memory cards for PS2.
Nice. Although we did buy some more the other day, but
We did buy some
oh,
more.
it's a black one, and it's a Sony one.
You got the Sony 8 gig and then an 8 gig or 8, sorry, not gig, megabyte, because, you know, gigabytes were a myth back then.
Yeah, it's like what?
The Nyko version, the yellow Nyko one.
A third party.
It's never been sitting on our computer monitor for the longest time.
Might as
At a
well.
register. I'm just like, fuck it. If no one's gonna do anything with them, I'm gonna take them.
It's always funny how they designed these back in the day of like, let's just add random pieces of rubber to these things to make it look cool, like grippy, a little grippier. But it works. It is a thing. You just have the black, blue, and red one. Yeah, I still have some. They're the kind of clear ones, the little translucent ones. I really like those.
Those were my favorites.
Yeah.
I had a blue one. I remember on mine.
Yeah, on my PS2, I still have a blue and red one.
Yeah, the same one I had.
It matches my kind of translucent ocean blue PS2 controller, so I like that one a lot. Yep.
They need to bring back the translucent but with the new consoles.
I know. I
would
know.
love to see a translucent PS4 and PS4 controller. I would lose it. I would lose it. I would lose it in many ways. In many ways. With that translucent red or translucent blue PS4.
It would be nice. Sometimes I do think about that because I was glad that they did that for the 2DSs.
Like they did with the Nintendo 64s back in the day, but
Mhm.
I know Sony's never really done that with any of their systems. They're all been like they've done it with their controllers, but
Right.
never before with the systems.
I wish they would. I wish I would do it at least with the controllers. That would be
The
cool.
controller was
What was that motion all about? You don't want to know.
that was the excitement, which I'm gonna be bringing home a new controller, by the way, come payday.
Are you getting that PS?
I'm getting that anniversary.
Getting
we
that.
finally got those anniversary controllers in yesterday. We cracked them open out of our shipment boxes today and displayed them. They sent us 32 of those things.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And they might not restock them, folks. So
They
if
may not
you're
restock those.
considering getting one, you should probably pick one up.
Yeah.
Why use
Same with the
memory cards
headset.
when you have Steam?
Same.
With StarTech, you can't do that on PS2 games or PS1 games. Not every game I own is on Steam, and I'm kind of glad it isn't. It'd be handy, but also, I love our physical games. So.
Same with the headsets, though. The headsets
Yes.
are limited too.
Hmm.
I already have one, but I'm like, the gray kind of wants me to justify blowing another $100, but I'm like, I could put $100 on a lot of other things right now,
Like rent.
like rent or credit card bills,
Food.
food, things like that, other games.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the controller, though, the only thing I was a little disappointed with the controller is it's not an exact copy of the controller that came with the anniversary PS3.
Oh, really?
That controller is unique.
Or PS4?
Or yes, the PS4, excuse me. That controller that came with the console is unique because on the touchpad on the controller, it has the little classic controller symbols, the triangle, X, circle, square. They don't have that on the ones that just released.
Oh, interesting.
So
Interesting.
there is a slight difference.
That's good for the people who were able to snag those super limited edition PS4s back then.
Caleb, I'm looking at you.
They're still limited edition. Caleb has many times thought about selling it, so.
Yeah.
But look at him now. Now he's playing Metal Gear Solid 5 on it.
Yeah, I know. Hey, at least he took my advice.
That's true. That's true.
He took my advice.
Pew. Why would you play PS2 games?
Because nostalgia.
Yeah. Actually, the PS2 anniversary is coming up next month. And the PS1 anniversary is coming up next week. And I'm trying to figure out what to possibly play for that. I haven't quite decided. I have a couple of games I could play. PS2, I have many games I could play. It's hard because I don't know if I want to start up a whole new game just for those, but I definitely want to commemorate the anniversary. You have a limited edition PS4, Arturus? Is it the anniversary edition though? Get jelly. Is it the one that
You got the Destiny one, didn't you?
is it the Destiny one?
Calling it. He's got the white one.
Might be. Alright, let's switch back over. Well, I don't know if you want to hang out in here while I play this.
I'll probably go and either fiddle with my magic cards or
Okay.
do something. I'm assuming you've already eaten.
I have not eaten for a little bit, so we could do dinner.
Okay.
I could always end the cast and
I almost
so.
brought something home, but I wasn't sure what you wanted to do. I was gonna call you. I guess I should have.
you could have, yeah.
But
That's okay.
you know, I had my boy take me home, so
Alright. Oh, I see.
we were talking about food all the way there, but particularly In-N-Out, and we were kind of kicking ourselves because the closest In-N-Out is over by the Coliseum.
It's pretty far, yeah. Oh yeah, you
There's
guys
one.
could have gone that way to, yeah.
Like an exit down the road.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sucks.
He's kicking himself because we were driving down on one of our streets.
Oh, your limited edition you made yourself. You drew a burr on it in high quality. It took you 6 weeks. Do you have any photos, Artorias?
Should take pictures. I'd love to see
Yeah, yeah. Jumping Flash. I do not have Jumping Flash. Kingdom Hearts. It's not a bad idea, but I only have Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if I have Kingdom Hearts on PS2. I have the HD version, but that is not on
Yeah.
H. Yeah, but it's not actually on the PS2.
Yeah.
I know, coffee's all about that in and out.
In and out, I wish. Was
Animal style,
closer.
double double, and animal fry.
Oh fuck.
Animal style fries.
Don't even. Don't even. Give me a 4x4 right now. I'd kill it. Kill that
You'll take
4x4.
pics later. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we could do tacos if you want me to make tacos. Um, if you want to heat up pizza, and we can have pizza and taquitos. If you want to make more rice, we can have rice and chicken. I don't know if you have a preference.
Not feeling chicken.
Okay,
Maybe pizza.
maybe pizza. Okay.
Tacos sound good. We got more taco meat.
I bought more beef. Yes, so we could make more tacos. So I don't know what you'd feel like. Pizza and taquitos are low effort.
Low effort.
Just heat them up.
I know you're kind of feeling probably low effort right now.
I mean, if I make the tacos, we'd have to stop pretty much right now and start making them. So,
Yeah.
which is fine. Could do that.
I don't want to have to kill the buzz, so we can do pizza. I don't want to be that guy to cut off the broadcast because I know we got a lot of wonderful viewers who are enjoying it.
Either one.
I'd say I'd cook the tacos, but I might end up burning down the kitchen.
I showed you how to make taco meat actually, so you could very easily do it.
I don't know. I can't.
You don't.
I remember the cooking process. I don't
Yeah.
remember how to get it in the pan.
You don't. All you have to do is put the brick of beef in the pan.
Let's cook it.
Yeah, and just start cooking, and then break it
Don't
up
have
with
to
the
spray
spoon.
the pan or nothing. Oh wait, yours is nonstick.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's a non-stick pan. So you could do it. I could come in and check on you if you want, in case you're unsure about something. That look on his face, he's like, I don't know. I like Five Guys. Actually, I think I prefer Five Guys over In-N-Out personally.
Five Guys burgers are amazing.
Yeah, I do. Something about Five Guys is a little more appealing to me.
The sad part is I've only had it that one time.
Yeah, we need to
I
go
haven't
again.
gone back since. That was the first meal that I had when I came out here in California, and I haven't gone back because there's not one in our area.
All right.
Closest one's Hayward, and that's too far.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. What you feel like? Tacos?
I want tacos, but I'm also opting for pizza because I feel like a kid who's being told to tie his own shoes for the first time, and he doesn't want to tie his own shoes.
I actually did not know how to tie my shoes for a long time. I pretended for a long time.
Pretended. I learned in kindergarten, but I was definitely not one of the first kids. It took me a while to learn. I was special. I was one of the special kids. You gotta loop it, you swoop it, and you pull.
Although I did teach you how to do the double knot
You
recently.
did teach me the double knot.
Do you
which
still
I
do that?
Yeah, I still do that.
That's good.
How my shoes don't come untied.
That's good.
Because the single knot's just not cutting it.
It's not. That's
I
not.
always used to do like, I don't know if anyone, I hate that we're going off on a shoe tying tangent, but whenever you would double knot it and you would take both loops and then just tie another knot, that's how I used to do it. And you actually would have to unfold the knot if you wanted to do it. She taught me the way of looping it twice before you pull it. That way you could just pull the string and it comes out like a regular knot. I never fucking knew it. I'm 26 years old and I never fucking knew that.
Because I would ask him, it's like, are you double knotting? He's like, yeah. But, you know, it's really annoying to, like, have to, like, untie the knot, you know, every time. I was like, what do you mean untie the knot? And then I realized that's what he was doing. I was like, oh, let me show you a trick. I bet Daisa ties your shoes before you go to work. Hey, you know, I had to learn that at some point. I don't remember when I learned it, but I think my mom taught me or someone else had taught me of like doing the double,
Yeah,
going through twice. So
I never knew.
you tie your shoes the other way. What other way?
Do you tie
The tying
the-
them
you tie
into a
the
knot.
loops?
that bunny ears just do the work for you. Just the regular way without double knotting. Um, but yeah. We could do tacos.
I just.
But you're just like really reluctant to do it yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I can call the stream and
I
we
can
can
help
work
you
on it
do
together.
I'm not against helping you
Yeah,
do it.
maybe we'll do that. I mean, how do you guys feel?
But then again, I don't want to be that guy to be like, well, I'm home, I'm hungry, let's fucking cut this shit off and get some food. I don't want to be that guy. So.
Oh, the bunny ears just don't work for you. Oh, there is another way to tie them without doing the 2 bunny ears, because there's a 2 bunny ears, but there is another way where you do 1 bunny ear and you loop it around or something, like you take the regular string and do some stuff.
Stuff with it.
Yeah. I remember learning that when I was like, the bunny ears is easier. You don't care either way. Talking about the 2 loops and then some other stuff. We were talking about doing the 2 loops and then
Like once you've already tied it, taking the 2 loops, because like my shoes, once you do like a regular knot, they come loose. Something with a string makes them come loose. So I was struggling. So I began taking once I had the bunny ears, I would take the ears and then tie them a second time
and do just a regular knot.
and do just a regular knot. But I realized it was causing me more effort to manually untie them when I was taking them off, and then she showed me how to just loop it twice.
Because you go
Double
through
knots.
once, and I would told him to just go through a second time to do a double tie. You do it as a loop, then tie it around, and then pull it through the hole. Yeah, he does it the other way, where it's one bunny ear, and then you go around it. I'd have to do it myself to remember even how that works. I mean, it's such like muscle memory for everyone of like how to tie a shoe, you know, and
At this point,
it was pretty funny. I mean, you saw those gifs of Trav. Like, he was talking about pizza, and he was talking about making pizza, and he was like doing like how to knead the dough and like doing all the things, and everyone was just watching him, and people were like, is it weird that this is slightly arousing? We're like, no, this is how he apparently massages girlfriends. And so people like start gifting it. It's pretty funny because like the looks on his face when he's doing it, it's hilarious. I retweeted it for folks who are interested. It's pretty good. You do a double loop too, it stays on better. Yeah, it definitely stays on better. Your mom taught it to you that way, and it took like 2 days for you to learn it. I must have learned when I was a little kid, but I remember being in like years, like a year or 2 later, and I still did, like I pretended to know how to do it, but I didn't actually know how to do it. Like everyone would be like, yeah, you know how to tie your shoes? Or I'm like, yeah, and I totally was like, no, I had no idea. And I think I like figured it out from like one of those wood shoe blocks, like for kid toys, and like it had shoelaces on it, probably so kids would learn how to tie their shoes. And I think I kept messing with it and eventually figured it out. So, or a teacher maybe helped me or something. But yeah, we could call it here. We can make some tacos. Sound good? It's okay.
I feel bad. That's all I'm saying. I feel bad. I don't.
Because I have D&D tomorrow, and I won't really have the time to like cook dinner necessarily, unless it's like after D&D.
Yeah.
So, and you'll probably be streaming, right?
Because I open Monday.
Well, but you close tomorrow. I mean, you could still technically stream because I'll be playing D&D, unless you want to just take it easy.
We'll see how I feel.
Okay.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I have been playing for 3.5 hours, so
Yeah.
I figured it'd be short. So it's cool. I would love to pick this up later. I mean, the amount of time it would take for me to go through these other videos would still be like at least another couple of hours. Probably another 2 hours, I'd say. Hopefully less, but... Oh, Staltic, you just got here. I'm sorry. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll decide to pick it up after dinner. But I'll definitely play again tomorrow. We can see if we can maybe finish it tomorrow. But yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll call it here. That sounds good to me. I was telling them earlier how me going to work out actually makes me want to eat a little healthier. So like something like pizza and like sounds so heavy and oily and
Yeah, greasy tacos though.
yeah, tacos. I'm like, well, there's tomatoes and lettuce and
And fatty beef.
and beans and rice, you know, and like it feels like a more well-rounded meal versus just like pizza.
Pizza's got all the
Pizza's a vegetable.
pizza's a vegetable. It's got all kinds of goodies on there, especially if you get like a supreme.
It is a good stopping point. By the way, has anyone heard of the Chroma team or something? Chroma Squad. Yes. That one yeah, I think Globe told me about it or maybe Caleb. I remember someone had mentioned it. They said it was pretty fun. They said it wasn't nearly as good as they were hoping it would be, but it's supposed to be fun. Yeah, it's supposed to be similar to like Power Rangers or something. But it's an addictive game. Cool. Sounds good. All right, so let's see what happens when I close this. Just like in Wall-E, where the fat people are like, we can grow pizza. Hit log off. Quit this logic session.
Not a save button.
Yeah, let's continue. So I guess it's okay.
Okay.
So I hope it's alright. Alright. It's gone now. Well, yeah, that's it for us then. Thank you so much, everyone. That was a really interesting game. Really interesting story. I'll have to tell Reaper about it. I haven't quite figured out the whole story, but we figured out the beginning and the end a little bit. There's still a little bit in the middle that we haven't quite pieced together, but it's a really good story, and I highly recommend it. If you guys are into watching videos and kind of piecing together, it's pretty much like an interactive novel, it feels like, where you're just watching things kind of unfold with just a little bit of prompting from you. So, but, and have you seen Wall-E?
Nope.
You haven't seen Wall-E, right? So I need to get that from school, and we should watch it one day, so.
Seen parts of it.
Seen parts of it. That's how it was for me. I haven't sat through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've seen most of it, but just bits and pieces, so. But it's good. It's good. So, all right, folks. Well, let me see if there's anyone else live right now that I can send y'all off to. Let's see. Let's see. Oh man, this guy's still going. Let's see.
Definitely not that guy on the bottom left.
Definitely not them, yeah.
Definitely not that guy.
We were just talking about a friend of ours who is streaming Phantom Pain. We cannot watch right now, unfortunately, as much as we would love to support him. Yeah, thanks so much for joining, Coffee.
I need it.
I'll probably play it tomorrow, so if you guys are around tomorrow, not too busy during the Labor Day weekend, it'd be great to have you here. But if not, I'll definitely let you know what happened in the storyline if you're interested. So, all right, soon. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the music. Let's see, there it is. Oh, you okay?
We're good.
I don't like that sound.
We're good. Alright.
Alright, guys. See you soon. I'll go ahead and turn up the music here.